Hey guys, it's MugenLord here, and I'm back again with another discussion video. And in this video, I just wanted to just give my overall thoughts of what I thought about E3 from all three game companies, and my overall expectations and what I'm excited for, and pretty much like a review. So, for starters, I must say that as a gamer, there's a lot to be super excited about from both Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. I think all three of them have performed pretty well. It's debatable for some people and stuff, but I believe that Microsoft, if starting off with Microsoft, I believe that Microsoft have pretty much sold me with the Xbox One X, because like I said before, I never owned the Xbox One, and I was just waiting for them at this conference to convince me to go out and run and buy an Xbox One. Now the thing is, I know some of the games that they pretty much have revealed, you can also get them on multi-platform, but like last time with the Xbox 360, I always went with the platform that pretty much had the best, I guess you could say, visual experience, I guess you could say the superior version. And there's this one game that really stood out the most to me that I really want to get, and that's the game called Anthem. I thought Anthem was pretty interesting on the Xbox One X, and I would definitely like to experience that on the Xbox One X. And looking at the game, it looked just stunning. The visuals were beautiful. It looked like it's going to have some multiplayer aspects to the games, and just looking at the suits that they were walking, the mechanical suits they were walking in, and it looks like it's going to have some type of like RPG elements with upgrades. You can upgrade the suits, and maybe there may be like I guess you could say a character creation that may be implemented in this game. So just looking at it, just looks so gorgeous. So this game really had caught my attention, and I was like, I would definitely love to get an Xbox One to play this game. And this may sound silly too, the this other game called I think it's called Lucky Tales Adventure, I think it is, which is a platformer. Platformers, especially back in the day, was my thing, especially when it came to like mascot looking characters and stuff. So I think that was something that Microsoft was missing out on, was a platformer. They definitely need more and more action adventure. Besides shooters, they need more action adventures, and they need more platformers, appealing platformers. And I think that Lucky Tales game really speaks out to me a whole lot. And then of course they showed the Dragon Ball Z fighters, or the Dragon Ball Fighters, or Dragon Ball Fighter Z. They also showed that's also going to be available on all, across multiple platforms but the Nintendo Switch. I'm not sure what console I'm going to grab it for. Depends on where most of my subscribers and my friends, wherever they decide they want to pick it up on, that'll be the system that I'll get the Dragon Ball Fighters on. But overall, I think Microsoft did pretty well. They did a good job to me. So I'm gonna definitely go out and I'm gonna grab an Xbox One X when it launches. Then we have, of course, we have Sony. They came right out the box and they said, hey, we're gonna show some games, just like similar to Microsoft showed games. Sony has showed some games too. And I just noticed that from all three companies, before I step into Sony, I noticed that most of the companies didn't really show any indie games. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing or a good thing, but it seemed like, hey, we want to show off some major titles with our system and what we have to offer. Now, in terms of exclusives, which was something that Microsoft did lack, Sony did deliver on some exclusives. Now, as far as exclusives concerned, we've seen, let's see, we saw God of War, which we knew that we was going to see. They didn't really show anything new, but they showed things that we knew was coming and that was in the woodworks. And we finally got some, I guess you say, some clear window when these games are going to be released. So we saw God of War, and God of War it already looked interesting last E3, and it's looking even more interesting. And the thing is, I'm not really a God of War fanatic. I play God of Wars, but those type of action adventure games, after a while, I could kind of get bored of with the button mashing and stuff like that. But the visuals to God of War was always amazing, and I love the storylines to God of War. But look at this game, it's like they took God of War and they evolved it. They don't have that zoomed out camera view. This one is more so up close and personal in the action, and they got the camera view behind Kratos, and it looks like he has this AI assist, which is the little boy, his son. So I like to see how they implement some of the teamwork and some of the teamwork gameplay into this God of War game. But really, what really got me curious about God of War is his story, because I want to know what happened. You know, we saw the end into the last God of War games, and now he's in this Norse mythology type of world. So I want to know how he got there, how this all happened, and what are the gods that he's going to be facing up against in God of War. Now, listening to some of the dialogue, because there's different voices talking in the trailer, I noticed that one of the voices could be Loki. Who knows? Don't know. And I'm not really deep into Norse mythology. I don't really know much of Norse mythology, but it looks interesting, and it have my eyes. It has me focused on it. So God of War done a good job. And then what really shocked me at the Sony press conference was Monster Hunter. Now, this is the thing. I was never really super into Monster Hunter, but I did play it, and with my brothers and my cousins and everything, because they're hardcore Monster Hunter fanatics. They definitely played it, especially back when it was released on the PS2, and then went straight to handhelds with the PSP. And they were definitely fiends on the PSP. That's all they played was Monster Hunter on the PSP. And then once it made the big jump over to Nintendo, that's when I went and picked up the Nintendo Wii version of Monster Hunter and played it. Had a good time with the game. And I more so enjoy Monster Hunter when I'm playing with friends and family. That's the most enjoyable aspect. Monster Hunter was always felt kind of boring and stale to me when I played by myself, but it was always fun playing with people. Then suddenly at the conference, we seen a Monster Hunter on the PS4. Now the thing was, after I stopped playing Monster Hunter after a while, I said the only way they can convince me to go back to Monster Hunter is if they go next gen, make it open world Monster Hunter, make the visuals look gorgeous. Because once they went to Nintendo, all the Monster Hunter games were just pretty much ports of the DS of the 3DS, just ported over to like the Wii U and their consoles and stuff like that. So I was saying to myself that it's just not appealing to me visually and everything like that. I know it can be a fun game, but also like Monster Hunter has so much potential on a visual forefront as well, you know, to get me into it and make it more free and open world. So when they showed the trailer to Monster Hunter on the PS4, I was totally floored. I was so amped and so excited, because I said this is the Monster Hunter game that I was waiting for, and it really had me jumping out of my seat. So I can't wait to see more gameplay of it and what you can do with the game. And my brothers and them are super excited. Now I heard that the game's also will come out for the Nintendo Switch. Don't know how true that is. I have to definitely look more into it, but yeah, super excited about the game, and Sony really surprised me with that. And then Sony showed Shadow of the Colossus, a remake of the first game. My dad, he's a big fan of that. He owned the PS2 version. Then they came out with an HD remix for the more recent consoles, and now they're doing a remake of the first game, which it looks beautiful, it looks gorgeous, and I was surprised about that. But the game that really took away the show for me was Insomniac's Spider-Man. Spider-Man looks amazing. I mean, Spider-Man looks gorgeous on the PS4. Now the thing is, I've noticed that this game is going to be taking advantage of the PS4 Pro, and looking at it, it looks like it. Definitely looks like it. The visuals look stunning. The gameplay looks stunning, and I'm glad that we finally are getting a Marvel game that's really trying to take their superhero games much more serious, you know, for people who are into those type of into that type of genre. And I must say, I'm super impressed. It was like you playing a CG movie. That's how gorgeous that game is. And so Insomniac, you guys did a real good job. You know, you guys prove that y'all just don't do Ratchet and Clank. Y'all can also do other titles like Sunset Overdrive and a couple other games. You guys have really stepped up and say, hey, we're not just Ratchet and Clank. We can also do other games. So definitely you guys surprised me. Then last but not least, Nintendo. Nintendo, when they first announced that they were how long their E3 presentation was going to be, they said it was going to be like 26 minutes to a half an hour. I got really nervous. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be honest with you. I have gotten really nervous as far as that was concerned when they said, you know, how long the press conference was going to be. Because I was comparing it towards Microsoft, and I was comparing it with Sony. With Sony and them, had their conferences about an hour or a little bit over an hour or whatever. And I was like, okay, what can they show within 26 minutes to a half an hour? And I was saying, like, to me, it sounded like they probably just going to just focus on they're just going to focus on the games that we already know that were out, and they just want to just say, hey, we're going to just focus on Splatoon. We're going to focus on not just Splatoon, but ARMS and those games, and probably throw in some handheld games. And I was like, I'm not going to be looking forward to this at all. I'm going to be disappointed. So I set my expectations real low with Nintendo when it came to their conference. But when I walked in, I'm not going to lie. For the conference to be short, it was effective because they got straight to the point. They showed games. That's what they did. They showed one game to the next, one game to the next. And I must say, Super Mario Odyssey, this is the second coming of Mario 64. Super Mario Odyssey is going to be amazing. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And the thing that really got me the most about Mario Odyssey, it's being released in October. I was expecting this to be a holiday release during the Christmas holiday. No, we're getting this in October, and there's so many games that's coming out in October that's definitely surprising me. But Mario Odyssey, Nintendo, you really didn't pull back any punches at all in terms of these release dates. Mario Odyssey in October. I am definitely looking forward to that game. I'm gonna put some money down in that game right away. So I'm super excited. They incorporated new mechanics with his hat, and that's what I like about Nintendo. Sometimes they're questionable about gameplay decisions with their first party games sometimes, but once you see it in action, it's a totally different story once you see it in action and everything. So I'm super excited about that. And then I was more so looking forward to Xenoblade Chronicles Part 2, and they definitely showed they actually showed a trailer to it, and I was like, okay, this game would be too ambitious for Nintendo to pretty much say we're going to do, a holiday release for this game. I was expecting a 2018 release. No, they said this game's going to be out the holiday of 2017. Now, not only that, we're going to get Mario in October, we're going to get Xenoblade Chronicles 2 during the holiday. My Switch, my Switch is going to be so busy this holiday season, and this from September on up, my Switch is going to have a whole lot to do. And these are two major titles that I'm really looking forward to: Mario Odyssey and Xenoblade Chronicles. But I'm going to get into individual videos talking about each of the games from E3 that I enjoyed, and go into depth and probably do like analysis and what can we expect coming from these games. But yes, I was super excited about that. Then they showed they showed a Kirby. I wasn't expecting a Kirby Switch game at all, actually, and they really came out the gate with that, and I'm super excited. My brothers and us are super excited, and that's a good game you can play in handheld mode, take anywhere with you as well, and it's a 4-player. And they're giving us an early 2018, which is a good thing, because 2017 is getting pretty crowded. 2018, I'm definitely looking forward to next year too. So we're stepping in from the fall with some great games all into 2018. So I'm super excited about that. Yoshi, not too crazy about it, but at least we have another Yoshi game. And I know it's pretty much people out there who are super excited for the Yoshi games and stuff like that. And then what definitely surprised a lot of people, we get into Metroid Prime 4. Yes, they announced the Metroid Prime 4, and the thing was, people were just happy about just knowing that the game is going to be in development. They didn't have to see any gameplay. They just want to know that this game is in development, and I was satisfied with that. They showed that, hey, this game is going to be in development, so shut the hell up. Don't worry about it. You'll see some more, and we'll definitely see some more about that game probably later on next year. And then the Pokemon Company said that they are working on a main title or a main role-playing game, Pokemon game, for the Nintendo Switch. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. So they said we're going to definitely hear more information probably by the end of the year. They'll probably get a separate direct about that. But overall, man, I think all three companies have done a good job. For me, this is what they accomplished something for me. The main accomplishment for Xbox with their presentations, like I said, they had to convince me to buy Xbox One, and they did. Sony showed more games and showed off their exclusives and stuff, and they surprised me with Monster Hunter, sold me with Monster Hunter, and with Spider-Man. Definitely super excited about that. Nintendo definitely excited me, and because they showed me the games that I wanted to see, and I wanted to know the release date windows for the games that I wanted to play, and they did. Xenoblade Chronicles Part 2, holiday. Mario Odyssey is coming out October. That's all I needed to know, because we know more games are coming out next year. So super excited for that. And yes, that's pretty much my opinion, what I think about E3 overall from all three companies. What do you guys think about E3 this year from all three companies? Or what games are you super excited for? So make sure you leave comments in the comment section below. And if you have any topics you'd like for me to discuss, Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. This is MugenLord, and I'm signing off.